This is your Vigilant Liberty Radio News from Independent Journal Review for Thursday, February 12th. Two schools have made headlines with questionable content in the classrooms that depict Republicans as generally bad people. First, at Nathan Hale High School in West Allis, Wisconsin, there was a worksheet that implied that Republicans do not care about the poor, stating that caring for them is a waste of money. Second, at Shattuck Middle School, also in Wisconsin, a teacher used a political cartoon for a worksheet that showed a Republican dismantling a pathway to citizenship as a Democrat was trying to build it. Students at Shattuck Middle School were given points for giving answers that suggested Republicans are opposed to immigration in general. Nathan Hale High School apparently is removing the questionable content from the curriculum. Montana State Representative David Moore filed a bill that is aimed at banning indecent clothing. The proposal would expand an indecent exposure law to include any nipple exposure, including men's, and any garment that, quote, gives the appearance or simulates a person's buttocks, genitals, pelvic area, or female nipple. The Republican from Missoula said tight-fitting beige clothing could be considered indecent exposure under his proposal. Quote, yoga pants should be illegal in public anyway, Moore said after the hearing. Moore says he filed the bill after seeing nude bicyclists in Missoula. Former Delta Force operator Dale Comstock has weighed in on Obama's decision to ask Congress for authorization to act militarily against ISIS. Comstock, author of American Badass, said, quote, a year ago, if you looked at Obama's view on the whole ISIS thing, he downplayed their effectiveness. He compared them to a JV team when he was asked about their threat level compared to al-Qaeda. It took a while, but he eventually launched airstrikes. Now he is authorizing a limited ground campaign with special operations groups. I understand that ground troops help battlefield dynamics change. But we knew a year ago that these guys were a serious threat and coming at everything like a freight train. Obama hasn't been cold and calculating about the matter. He's been purely negligent. These comments come on the heels of news that ISIS has enjoyed an influx of foreign fighters for their cause, including at least hundreds of Americans. I'm Liz Harrison, and this has been your Vigilant Liberty Radio News from Independent Journal Review for Thursday, February 12th.
DLR.
This show is produced by IJReview.com.
This show is copyright by VLR Media. All opinions of panelists and guests are their own and may not reflect the opinion of VLR Media, the host, or anyone else. Two minds are better than one. Time for the Right Mics with Mike Miller and Michael Hausum.
Well, hi, folks. Welcome to the show. This is The Right Mics with Mike Miller and Michael Hausum. Good afternoon to you in the center and eastern parts of the country. It's still morning here in Southern California and on all of the Pacific West Coast. And if you'd like to call in this segment, please do. The number is 412-567-6879. Also, you can follow along on Twitter and interact with us there if you like. And the Twitter handle is @TheRightMics, and that's MICS, even though the hosts are MIKES. Now, Very funny story that I just, I don't like the clickbait headlines. They bug me. Click this and see, and you won't believe what happened next, or whatever. But this one got me this morning, and I'm not actually sure how I feel about it. Jess, you'll have to tell me what you think. This is from Tea Party News Network. And the picture was Charlie Sheen, but the clickbait headline was another Hollywood star comes out and he's loud and proud about it. And my right?
Yeah.
My first thought was Charlie Sheen is gay. You've got to be kidding.
I know.
Did you see this headline?
I did not see that headline, but that's hilarious.
Absolutely hilarious. So, as a good consumer of clickbait headlines, oftentimes against my will, I clicked on it. And here's what it says. And the giveaway's in the very first sentence. Another big name in Hollywood has come out of the closet. The political closet, that is. The brave new world where actors can come clean about their honest political beliefs and risk being ridiculed, demonized, and forever putting their careers in jeopardy by bigoted and intolerant leftists for having the audacity to go against the norms in Hollywood society as not being a politically correct America-hating communist. So that is the longest intro sentence ever.
Yeah.
Moving on. Yeah, right. As the Washington Times reported, actor Charlie Sheen publicly came out of the political closet on the flip side with Michael Loftus, joining the ranks of the courageous few in Hollywood like James Woods, Dean Cain, and Clint Eastwood in the interview that took place on February 8th. After sharing some of his earliest childhood memories of filmmaking and his family that includes father and actor brothers Martin Sheen and Emilio Estevez, the conversation turned to politics, where Sheen clearly came out politically. When Loftus asked Sheen what three laws would he implement if he were king for a day, he replied, skilled vets in front of our schools that have been vetted, a 10% flat tax across the board, and the third would be everybody relax. Put the Constitution back into place. People say, are you a Republican or a Democrat? No. I'm a constitutional Republican, man. I believe in the Constitution. Look what we went through to write that document. Sheen said that when he asked people if he should run for president, 100% answer in the affirmative. So apparently Charlie Sheen asks people if he should run for president. And I would guess that in the circles that Charlie Sheen runs in, he gets a yes answer to every single thing he says. Wouldn't you think so, Jess?
Oh, totally. I mean, the whole Tiger Blood, everything. People were all about that when that happened. So
right.
I think it'll be great.
Wait, as Charlie Sheen running for president?
I mean, I don't think he should run for president, but I think it would be very entertaining. It'd be like, I was entertained by Roseanne Barr running for president, so.
That's very true.
I was like, this is great. I don't even care, but this is like the best comedy show ever. Like.
Oh my gosh.
So,
yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Well, so interesting. I mean, I don't know about Emilio Estevez's politics, but Martin Sheen is like a well-known lefty, right?
Well, it's kind of hard to say. Yeah, he is and even Charlie Sheen has said some things that were kind of like, we got to spread the wealth around kind of stuff too. So I think they kind of vacillate a little bit on their beliefs, but I mean, that's pretty clear what he just said. So
I'm
kind
a
of interesting.
constitutional Republican. I mean, that is not something you say at parties in Westwood or Brentwood or Pacific Palisades. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Then again, I'm not sure that Charlie Sheen gets invited to a whole lot of dinners at Pacific Palisades or Brentwood.
I don't know. He kind of, Charlie Sheen can pretty much do whatever he wants. That's been proven already.
Right.
Like when he went to go find, I don't know, the Loch Ness monster or some crap because for a weekend, it was hilarious.
Yeah, well, Charlie Sheen is obviously he's a moron, and I find that interesting. Now I have a bit of a connection with that show, The Flip Side with Michael Loftus. I'm buddies with the producer of that TV show.
Oh wow!
And
cool.
I had not heard about this before. But I kind of think it's interesting, don't you?
Oh, it's amazing. That's what I was saying. I was like, Charlie Sheen can say or do whatever he wants, and he's gonna get people supporting him. And I'm surprised that he actually went that route to begin with.
Yeah, well, if especially the last few years, Charlie Sheen's entire life is about one big extended middle finger to, if not just the Hollywood world, but maybe even the world at large.
That's
right?
true. Yes, he's had his meltdowns, and he is just like, all right, this is what we're doing.
Yeah, exactly. So, what do you think, Miller, about Charlie Sheen coming out as a Republican?
Um, Charlie Sheen coming out as anything doesn't surprise me. I mean, if you really think about it, well, no. I mean, does it? Did that surprise you guys?
No, I just think it's funny how you say it.
Yeah. See, your dog doesn't even think that it's a surprise. But all right. So technical hell, hopefully over at least on one machine. Of course, it took forever to second one to. Never mind. How you guys doing today?
We're doing great, man. Thanks for asking.
I'm
Although
doing
we've
all right.
got this, there's this weird weather anomaly that California gets occasion that's called Santa Ana winds, where the high pressure system. We've talked about this before.
I know about those. Yes.
Last night at sundown, it was 90 degrees here, and right now, it's just after 11 o'clock California time, and it's easily mid 80s, maybe even higher than that. I bet you it gets well up into the 90s.
Wow. Let me put that into perspective for you. About a half hour ago, it was snowing sideways out my window.
Oh my gosh. Well, when I went to the gym last night and then went to Costco to bring up some stuff right at sundown, and I have on my weather app, I've got, first of all, Apple's got local, and then I put in my city, Newport Beach, and then the next one is Chanhassen, which is where my brother is outside of Minneapolis.
I have stayed there multiple times, by the way.
Oh, okay. So jockeying back and forth between the local temp in Irvine, where I was at sundown, and my brother's house was 79 degrees difference in temperature.
Isn't that amazing? I think we talked about this before, and it makes no difference to anything, but Prince's recording studio is in Chanhassen.
Prince's recording studio is less than a half a mile from, in fact, they share the same street as my brother's mother-in-law's condo. And it's literally right around the corner from my brother's house.
I'll be damned. Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, also, I'm not sure if you're aware of this. The international headquarters of Eckankar is directly across the street from Prince's studio. Do you know what Eckankar is?
I don't.
Eckankar is this hyper lefty woo-woo spiritual cult thing, and it's right across the street.
Nice area.
Beautiful area.
Chaska, Chanhassen, the whole bit.
Yeah, in fact, one of those videos that I did for the when I was back there in November, the Southern California boy goes to. One of them was a little lake / pond that was just a few hundred yards from Prince's studio.
I'm ashamed to say that I watched that.
Well, it's funny. I'm going to get back to the Charlie Sheen thing. As I was looking at this article about Charlie Sheen, and I was thinking about doing an IJR thing on it.
Mm-hmm.
I also found that Charlie Sheen wrote a letter to Brian Williams defending him. Yep.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see that?
I saw the headline. I did not read the letter.
Here's what, it's worth it, because as much as it's interesting to hear that Charlie Sheen came out as a constitutional Republican, he does conservatives no favors because he's insane. Yeah, this is the letter he wrote to Brian Williams. Dear Mr. Williams, sorry to bother you during this most surreal, unjust, and mercurial moment in your awesome life. First off, thank you. for 24 years of inimitable professionalism and top shelf brilliance as a stone cold, passion driven, and perfectly fact based journalist. Secondly, thank you squared for delivering not only the